recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Hey, this is Kurt Angle. Welcome to the Kurt Angle Show. On the show today, we'll be doing Ask Kurt Anything. That's right, the fans can ask me anything they want. But before we start, let me introduce to you my co-host, Paul Bromwell. How you doing today, Paul?
Kurt, I'm doing great. I'm really excited. I love Ask Kurt Anything. I mean, this is when we get to peel the bed sheets back.
We're freestyling.
We're freestyling. We get to ask you whatever we want, however we want. And you said last week, hey, we're going to dig in and go deep. So I can't wait. We're going to have some fun. But hey, we're coming off of Thanksgiving here in the U.S. I got to ask, how did you spend your Thanksgiving? Dinner at the house there, or what did you do?
We had dinner at my sister-in-law's. We went over there. It was a really cool family function. I didn't get to see my immediate family, but we saw my wife's family, but that's okay.
Do you get along with your wife's family
at Christmas?
Yeah. Do you get along with your wife's family? You can tell the truth. She left
very well. I get along with them extremely well. I actually get along with them better than my wife does.
They probably love you. I love it.
They do.
That's
my
good.
Wife hates it, but you know,
right. She can't stand the fact that they love Kurt Angle so much.
More than her, yes.
I can picture the whole scene, man. Well, hey, listen, did you at least cheat a little bit? I mean, did we break away from chicken snacks?
No. I had my typical plain turkey breast and dry plain sweet potato and steamed vegetables.
Oh,
but I did cheat a little bit. I had some pumpkin pie.
Okay. All right. Okay. We'll give you some props, give you some kudos and a pat on the back for having a little pumpkin pie. You deserve it. You work hard all throughout the year, dude. Well, listen, we got a lot of questions, as you said at the top of the show, from the listeners, and we're going to jump into those. But before we get there, it's time to talk a little bit about football. And you've been making those picks week in and week out, Kurt. You went 0-2 last week. You picked the Chiefs over the Eagles. For the second week in a row, you picked against the Eagles.
Suck.
Oh, man. Derek, did you hear him? Did you hear what he said? Okay, he's talking
overrated.
Shit. Oh, my God. Well, they said screw you, and they won again, so they beat the Chiefs. And then for your Angle upset, you picked the Steelers to beat the Browns, and your time as Nostradamus is over, pal. Okay, 0-2.
I know. You'd think I give up on the Steelers by now, but I'm not. I'm not going to.
Don't do this. So you're 14-8. Let's set the stage here. Yeah. The Steelers, thankfully, did lose because that means they finally fired Matt Canada.
Yeah. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Ding, 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 ding.
Ears everywhere. So who is your pick for this week for the Angle Lock? We're recording the day before Thanksgiving. Let's just go ahead and let that cat out of the bag.
Angle Lock is pretty easy. I think this is an easy win. I'm picking the Dolphins over the Jets.
Okay, Dolphins over the Jets. Now, that is in New York, but they're starting somebody else at quarterback, not named Zach Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. So, okay.
Yeah, I think that should be an easy win for Dolphins.
Okay. All right. Who's your Angle upset then this week?
The Steelers over the Bengals.
Oh, my God.
And I know I'm reaching deep, but these guys are due. They got to beat somebody from our division.
Can we at least score an offensive touchdown this week? I mean, I know
probably not, but I think our defense will score like 3 or 4.
Jalen Warren did score for us last week, so we'll see what happens. Kenny Pickett better get this shit figured out because he's going to be on a short leash sooner or later.
What? He's young, but he's not going to be young much longer. I mean, this guy can't. It's his second year. He should be like shining by now, and he's not really. He hasn't showed up yet, and I'm just really shocked about it.
Yeah, he finished the year strong last year, and we were looking for that growth, and that just hasn't occurred yet. So there you go. You're all in on the Dolphins, and then as your lock, and then you're upset. You're going with the hometown Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see how that happens, and buddy, we'll come back next week and see how you're at. I mean, You were 14-6. Now you're 14-8. If you get another 2 losses, this thing could start
What if I
eating
get
it
2
out.
wins? I'm 16-8.
Okay. That's half. That's glass half full. I like
2/3 wins.
I like that. I like that. All right. Let's jump into the questions this week. We got a lot, and I want to get through as many as we can. Fernando Diaz kicks us off, and he says, Kurt, are there any special dishes that the Angle family household has during Thanksgiving?
No, we have the typical Thanksgiving, but me personally, you know what I eat.
Yeah.
Plain turkey and a dry baked or dry sweet potato and steamed vegetables and a little pumpkin pie.
Is there anything in all these years that you've splurged on? Anything else that you've splurged on? Because there's been times where you haven't looked as shredded as you've looked now.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I've done other Thanksgivings where I went off the deep end. You know, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and cranberry sauce, and probably about 4 pieces of pie.
How about green? Are you a green bean casserole guy?
I love green bean casserole. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's just too high in fat for me.
Well, I hear you, but the rest of us love our comfort.
My girlish figure.
I get that. I guess you have to. But you know what? Like you said, it also is good for you because you don't want any extra weight on your joints at this point in life either.
Right. Especially my new knees.
Yeah. How are they working for you, by the way?
They're good, man. I'm running on them. I'm not supposed to run on them. I kneel on them. I'm not supposed to kneel on them. So I'm not really taking good care of them. They're supposed to last me 20 years, but the way I'm treating them, probably 10.
That sounds like typical Kurt Angle, overdoing it.
Might as well get fat.
Right, exactly. What's the point? Your knees aren't going to make it anyway. You're kneeling on your knees. I'm not going to ask you what activity you're doing while you're kneeling, but you're running and jumping and who knows what else you got going on your knees. You're supposed to be using that golf cart, pal. Okay.
I know. I don't use it enough.
Oh boy. All right. Well, good stuff. He has cheated before, Fernando. It's just not now. He's sticking to a lean Thanksgiving meal.
Pretty dedicated right now.
Yeah, pretty boring. Fantasy Booker podcast. They have a question on current events, Kurt. Thoughts on Will Ospreay signing with AEW? The big announcement came, Kurt, at Full Gear this past weekend. Do you think that Will is going to elevate AEW? So I'm looking forward to hearing your opinion on that big signing for them.
I think so. Will, he's a European wrestler, and he's a great technician. I love his work. I think he's going to be a great addition to that company. I mean, the AEW is like the Wild Wild West. I mean, now they're doing some crazy ass matches, but this guy will keep them contained. He'll keep them, sticking with the old school technique wrestling, which is what I like, and I think that Will Ospreay is one of the better ones to do that.
Buddy, he is, I'm not going to lie, he's one of my favorites. I think he's one of the most gifted, talented wrestlers in the business right now.
Yes, he really is. You're absolutely right.
I know he's wrestled for them before at different shows, so this isn't like, his first time we're seeing him in AEW. Right. But to have him involved on a weekly basis and every pay-per-view and whatever special event they do, I think it's huge. It's a big deal. And now to be able to see him to work with more, he's obviously we'll see him again probably with Kenny, but just some of the other wrestlers.
Yes, he's going to have some incredible matches.
They always tear it down. So there you go. All right, AP Video's up next. And man, this is very topical because he's going to ask a little bit. He's going to talk a little Survivor Series. But before we get there, he wants your thoughts on these 5 current WWE superstars. Number 1, Karrion Kross with Scarlett.
Oh, Karrion Kross. Well, he made a name for himself in NXT. And I believe, didn't he wrestle for TNA, Impact Wrestling, before that?
He did, yes.
Okay, so he's got some years of experience, and I believe he's on the SmackDown brand, and he's doing well. I like the guy. I actually think he's really talented.
I like him. I like the whole package. Him with Scarlett, she definitely
that's his wife, right?
Yeah, adds to the package. When he was in NXT, the presentation, the music, everything, it was like this guy's going to be next level. He's obviously
going to be a big star.
Yeah. He separated from the company, came back. Just looking forward to some big things with him. Kevin Sullivan is a massive fan of Karrion Kross with Scarlett and thinks they're going to be big time too. Next wrestler, Grayson Waller. What do you think of Grayson Waller?
He's the Australian kid.
Yeah.
I did see his match with Edge at Madison Square Garden. and it was a pretty damn good match. I think the kid's talented. I think he has it.
And mic skills to boot, too. Good on the mic.
Yeah, he's pretty good on the mic, too. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
All right, Omos, the big man. Thoughts on Omos?
The new giant?
Yeah.
Omos, you know what I really enjoyed is when he tagged with AJ Styles.
Okay.
And, I think they tagged against RK Bro. I think RK Bro won the titles from them, but I really enjoyed him. I think he's really athletic for his size.
He is.
He really is. So I think he's got a lot of talent. He's going to be the new giant. He's going to be, he's going to be the new Big Show or the Andre the Giant. So I'm not sure, but did he play basketball?
I don't know if he had you would think so, right? But I'm not sure
with
about
his athleticism, I would imagine.
Yeah. I'm not really too sure. Next one, L.A. Knight. Yeah. What are your thoughts on L.A. Knight?
He has the whole ball of wax, man.
He does. Charisma.
He has it all, man. That kid's special. Crazy thing is, it took him a long time to, find himself.
To get there.
He finally did. And he's doing an incredible job. I look at him as one of the biggest stars in the business now or in the near future.
Yeah, hopefully WWE does as well and continues to put him in that spot because, man, fans are rabid for some LA Knight.
Yeah, they are, especially his promos.
Yeah. Last but not least, Shotzi. So are you familiar with Shotzi?
Yeah. She's the girl that rides a tank down the ring.
Yes, right? Yes.
Yeah, she had long green hair. I think Bailey snipped it off, right?
It's all chopped off now, and
it's red, I think.
Yeah, it's real nice.
Change her hair color.
Yeah. So what do you think about her?
Do you think that's a real hair color?
No, Kurt. No.
We can find out.
I'll let you try to find that out.
No, I'm married.
But you're a fan? Are you a fan of her work from what you've seen?
You know what? I like her. I think she has a lot of charisma. She's a pretty good athlete. But if you're talking about, do I like her?
No, I'm not. I'm just talking about you like her from an in-ring performer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, all right, Kurt's a fan.
And that's it. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. Bonus question. Let's get into something really cool, though. Randy Orton, one of your buddies. He's returning at Survivor Series. Cody dropped all the
forever.
Hits. I know. First time he's returning since May of 2022. It's been 18 months.
Oh, 18 months.
According to AP Video.
It was a year, but
this is Alex, by the way, who wrote this question in. What do you think about him finally making his big return? As this drops on Sunday, he would have returned last night. What do you think about him being back?
It's about time. I'm just glad he did because I was communicating with him for quite some time when he was injured, when he was out with injury, because Kim and Giovanna are best friends.
Besties. Yeah.
So he was telling me, hey man, it's not looking good. I don't know how my back's gonna heal if it's going to heal. So he was a little worried about it for a while, and eventually it started to heal up, and now I think he's okay. But it was pretty serious for some time.
I remember you telling me offline there was like some serious concern on if he was going to be able to come back.
Yeah, they didn't know. They didn't know if he would. And
so,
Randy, he's young too. I mean, he's in his 40s, but he's still pretty young.
Yeah, compared to you.
Me and other guys that are wrestling like Sting in his 60s and Chris Jericho in his 50s. Yeah, so he's still young. He still has a good 6 or 7 years if he stays healthy.
Man, I tell you what, again, this airs on to the main feed on Sunday, and we will, I'm sure, have heard a massive pop when he comes on his music hits.
Randy,
it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, especially when he hits the RKO for the first time in 18 months.
Going to be good shit. I'm looking forward to it. Reese, the weekly steel chair. Love Reese. He's always interacting with us on the show. He says, when Kurt became IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in 2007, Kurt, can you remember back that far?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So you're back there. Did Kurt ever consider New Japan as a long-term option despite being in TNA, as the matches and style fitted him perfectly, as TNA did as well? So did you ever think about, man, how cool would it be if I could have, work for New Japan long-term?
Honestly, when you're talking about the three companies, WWE and TNA, well, AEW too, you mix them in, and New Japan, my style worked best at New Japan, in Japan. I was very aggressive. I was very stiff and very physical. And but the reason why I even went over there is because Brock Lesnar wouldn't do a job for anybody in Japan.
Yeah.
And he told them, listen, get Kurt Angle to come over and I'll lose. So I went over and I beat Brock. And then I thought I was going to drop the title right after that. And they had me hold the title for 5 or 6 matches. So I continued to wrestle in New Japan. And eventually I dropped it to, I think, Nakamura.
You fought Muda, didn't you, over there?
Muda, I did Nagata, Tanahashi, Nakamura.
Jeez, dude. Yeah. I saw a clip of you and Muda on social, and it was the back and forth between you two was incredible.
Yeah, we had a good one. He for his age, he still was a badass. I mean, he was.
You two
really
were
good.
going. Yeah, that was cool. I would love to, somehow, some way, get some viewing time with you with some of those New Japan matches. I think.
Watch it.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. Floppy is up next. He says, hi, Kurt, in 2001, when did they make you become a heel with a jobber streak so quick after a phenomenal face run? So why did they make you become a heel with a jobber streak so quick after that awesome face run?
I don't know. I as I remember, I did beat Stone Cold Steve Austin after 9/11. And so that was the last time I was world champion with that babyface run that I had.
Yeah.
But I believe then the alliance started, right?
Yeah. Yep,
yeah. So what they did is they turned me heel, which didn't make any sense because they wanted me to flip back babyface because I was going to be the mole that helped the WWE win against the alliance. It's confusing as fuck. It really is. But yeah, so
yeah,
they had me jumping back and forth so much. Because when I was a babyface, I had a great run. Then they turned me heel with the alliance. Then they made me babyface for a day when I saved the WWE, and then they turned me heel again. And it was like they didn't know what to do with me. And honestly, I honestly don't think Vince knew what to do with me. And here I was a top babyface in the company at this particular time, and they sent me back as being a heel. And it didn't make any sense. And I was losing a lot of matches at that point in time. And it was because we were the alliance facing the WWE.
Yeah. Floppy said, I found it really disheartening and poorly timed, especially after 9/11, because you had all that babyface momentum and then boom.
Yeah, a lot of momentum. And after 9/11, the fans really got behind me. Right. And so it didn't make any sense, but doing the whole alliance thing is what messed it up.
All right. Next question is from Sean Berkey, and he says, can we get a Kurt Angle graphic novel like fellow ad-free outlaws Tony Schiavone and Arn Anderson? Kurt, what do you think? Is a graphic novel somewhere in your future? Now, you and I had a little conversation a little while ago with the gentleman, and but do you think that's ever going to get off the ground?
You mean me doing a novel about my life?
No, like the graphic novel, like the comic style graphic novel.
Oh gosh. Yeah. We were working with that one guy. I forget his name. I can't remember what his name was, but you know what? He kind of disappeared.
Did he? Yeah.
But we were talking about doing a graphic novel and, it was going to be pretty cool. I would have loved to have done it, but unfortunately it didn't work out. I'm going to
reconnect with him. And he's the one who did your hockey jersey.
Yes, he did. And he did a fabulous job at it too.
And we had some good ideas and some good brainstorming. And his name slips my mind too, because it was the beginning of the year. But I don't think that's a bad idea. He had some thoughts about too doing a series with you as a superhero.
Yeah, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, right. I mean, come on. All right. Simon Nicole 8K is up next. Simon Nickel, I guess, 8K. Paul, Kurt, keep up the tremendous work. Simon, thank you so much, man. He says, throughout Kurt's career, you use different theme songs, variations in both WWE and TNA. Did you have preferences? And if so, which ones were they? So do you have let's talk about your theme music.
My theme music in WWE, I love the first one. It was a patriotic feel, it was the Patriots music. And I did like that. It had a good ring to it. And I enjoyed it. I thought it fit me perfectly, my character. And but then they started changing it up and trying to turn it into "You Don't Suck, You Don't Suck," and just
God.
doing different things with it. And Vince was always trying to manipulate it so fans will stop saying "you suck" to me. And so it got a little complicated. But when I went to TNA, Trademark, John Cena's cousin, he was a rapper. He teamed with me to do the song.
I like that one too.
TNA, and it came from a movie called what's it called? It was a wrestling movie. I can't remember what it's called, but the song was called "Lunatic Fringe."
Okay.
And, so I used that song. And
Vision Quest?
Yes, from Vision Quest. Yes.
Oh, we're going to talk about this. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I used that song, but we amped it up. Like,
okay,
it wasn't as low, like dun. We were like made it really loud, and so it wasn't like a low key song. It was more of a exciting, like coming out song. It was really cool. And Trademark did an incredible rap for it. I absolutely love that song. That was my favorite of all time.
Lunatic Fringe. If you're looking for it, check it out. It's you can search it on Apple Music and listen to that song. It's from 1981, and it was on the sound.
That long ago.
Yeah, the original song, and that was on the soundtrack of Vision Quest, which is also Kurt's #1 movie. He mentioned favorite movie of all time. Kurt,
amateur wrestling movie.
2 weeks ago, I watched it for the first time.
You did? Did you like it?
It was so good. I'm such
It is. It has a good theme to it. It has a little love in it,
Yeah.
Just everything, relationships and wrestling, and
Yep. And he was trying to cut weight. He was trying to cut weight to get down and fight that one guy he wanted to, and he got to. And I'm not going to spoil it.
Swain fought the Shoot.
Yes, that was the first time I've ever seen the movie, man. And I thought about it. I was kind of watching it a little differently because I'm like, this is Kurt's favorite all-time movie. No wonder.
You know what? There's no way in hell Loud Swain could beat Shoot.
Yeah. How many times do you think you watched that movie back in the day?
Huh?
How many times do you think you watched that movie back in the day?
10,000.
Really? Just all the time?
Watched it all day long, especially when it first came out. I was so excited. It's like, hey, this is a movie about us, amateur wrestlers,
And they did mix in, the lady into it. She came into town. Oh, you can live with us at the house. Oh, okay. I mean,
that happened to me too.
Yeah, you wish. I was like, that lucky son bitch.
Yeah, a 28-year-old woman came to my high school. And
yeah, right. And said, can I move in with you? And then all of a sudden she wanted to bang your brains out. Oh, man. Great movie, Vision Quest, if you guys haven't checked it out. But Lunatic Fringe is the song that plays right before he goes out at the end of the movie.
Yep.
And that's the song that you used with John Cena's, what do you say, his cousin?
Trademark, yeah.
Trademark to come up with the music for TNA. I love that story.
It was brilliant, man. It was.
I love it.
The song was awesome. Like I said, we didn't. The normal song is kind of low keyed.
Yeah,
it has a low sound to it, but we amped it up, made it real loud. Yeah.
All right, guys, that's your homework this week. Go watch Vision Quest.
Yeah. And, let us know what you think.
Yeah, it's Kurt's all-time favorite movie. 10,000 times he's watched it. All right, Keith Langley. It's perfect 80s movie. It's in the vein of the Karate Kids and the Rockies, but this is about wrestling.
Yeah, it's perfect. The 80s, definitely. Yeah.
Yep. Keith Langley is up next, and he wants to know, Kurt, do you have a favorite music genre? So what is your favorite music genre?
I love all kinds of music. I love pop. I love rap. I love country. I love Christian music. I'm actually really into Christian music right now.
Okay.
That's kind of my
particular artist or album.
I love county or gosh. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm
blanking out. That's okay. I'll put you on the spot.
Oh man.
It's okay. Do you have a certain playlist that you listen to when you're working out in the gym?
I don't.
You don't listen to music.
I don't listen to music when I work out at the gym. I only listen to music when I'm in my car.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Gosh, it's gonna drive me crazy now.
That's all right. We'll figure it out, and we'll get.
I love Toby Mac.
Okay.
You know what? He's kind of on the cusp of being pop.
Yeah.
He's still in the Christian music genre.
I remember back in the day when he was in DC Talk.
Oh, wait, was he in a rap group or something?
It was called DC Talk, and it was back in the late 80s when we were, much younger. He was in a group called, they came out of Liberty University, and they called it DC Talk. Wow. And he was in that group, and now he's out.
He's talented, man. He comes
out
on
his own solo
songs.
career. See, I can talk all these things with you. I can talk all these things. I listen to all kinds of music too. I'm more of a classic rock guy, but I'll listen to everything.
I love classic rock too. I mean, hell, I just went to Aerosmith last couple months ago.
Yeah.
I love that. Loved every song they played. Yeah.
Sammy Hagar announced he's doing a tour next year with Michael Anthony and Joe Satriani on lead guitar, because obviously Eddie has passed, and Jason Bonham, the drummer.
So with Van Halen, I guess.
Well, they're going to do a lot of Van Halen songs. John Bonham's son, Jason Bonham's going to be the drummer. Joe Satriani on guitar. By the way, he's the one who was the Kurt Hammett from Metallica was his student. He's an amazing guitarist. And then Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony on bass. They're going to do mostly a Van Halen library tour next year in 2024.
Wow, man. I'm going to have to see that.
I got tickets to, I'm going
to Pittsburgh.
I'm going to the show in New Jersey. Blue Meanie's going to the same show.
How the hell did you and Blue Meanie meet up?
He does stuff for ad-free shows, and he listens. Yeah, and he listens to the Monday Mailbag, and we talk.
Maybe he was your next door neighbor.
No, we talk. He lives about an hour from here, but he and I have gotten to know each other a little bit through it. So I saw that he was going. Yeah, great guy. I saw he was going, and we just started chatting. He was like, "Buddy, I'm one section over. Let's meet up and say hi at the concert." But if you're a Van Halen fan, you got to look for that concert next year.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Real quick, while we're here, I got to ask you, Kurt, are you still planning on getting back involved with the drums?
Yes, I am. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to really suck at the beginning because my fingers, I have a lot of motor skill problems. But just so you know, I'm having neck surgery at the beginning of next year. They're going to put in artificial disc replacements. And it's going to help these right here.
Your hands. Yeah.
I can't really grab things, and things always slip out of my hands and fall. I have horrible motor skills.
Interesting.
Motor skills. Yeah.
So they think that with the disc replacement, it should improve all that.
Yeah. Actually, they said, my arms, because they atrophied 3 inches each. And I don't have any muscle in here. This is completely flat. If you see
that's between your thumb and finger for those.
Yeah. There's supposed to be muscle in there, but it deteriorated. It atrophied. And so I when I get these rubber discs or disc replacements, they're going to open up my the nerves so they can go down my arms. So I'll have better circulation. What it is.
We better get a few podcasts in the can before that surgery happens.
You know what? The recovery time's 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
That's it, man. It's crazy.
Everything is so fast now. They'll have you home the next day.
Yeah, I mean, when Stone Cold Steve Austin had his neck surgery, he was out a year. Okay, now it's 2 weeks.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, hey, we'll keep our fans and listeners up to speed and up to date with how when surgery is going to happen and how it all goes down, because man, anything that can make your life better and help you get more feeling, those motor skills, and bring back those drumming skills. Because when it's good, we're going to put you on stage. We're going to be somewhere. We're going to have you play some Rush songs. We're going to have you play some Led Zeppelin. We're just going to have Kurt.
Who's going to be in the crowd?
We'll invite all our Kurt Angle Show listeners. I mean, I don't care. And we'll just let you rip it up.
Sounds good, Paul.
He's like, you're an ass. Carmine Rocco has a question. If you were starting your wrestling career in this era right now, your body's healthy, you're just feeling like you're 24 years old again, and 2 companies, AEW and WWE, slid contracts in front of your face, who are you signing with?
Oh, definitely WWE. And the reason is they have more of an outreach worldwide. I mean, AEW's getting there, but they're not in every country in the world yet. So it's going to take them a little bit of time. They're going to have to strike these TV deals with different countries. It's going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But WWE, they're all over the globe. I mean, that's.
What if Tony Khan offers you more guaranteed money?
Then I'll go there.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's right. I mean, seriously. So like, if you sat down, they said, hey, we're going to give you $3 million for 3 years, $3 million a year. So $9 million contract for WWE. But here comes Tony Khan and says, I'm going to give you $5 million a year for 3 years for $15 million.
That's a no-brainer.
You're done. You're going to AEW. So at the end of the day, guys, money matters. Okay.
Yeah. But remember, half that money goes to taxes.
Yeah, that's true. You need to move out of Pennsylvania is what you need to do.
No shit, man. State tax is killing me.
Oh, I know. All right. Lethal Moose is up next. Does Kurt have a favorite wrestling pay-per-view that he likes to go back and watch?
You know what? I do. There are 3 of them that are my go-tos, and they're my 3 favorite matches of all time. WrestleMania 21, Shawn Michaels, No Way Out 2006, Undertaker, and 2003 Royal Rumble, Chris Benoit. Those 3 matches, I will tell you this. I don't know which one's better than the other, but they're all 3 right up there. And they're all different in their own way, which is crazy because I wrestled a 7-foot-tall monster, Undertaker. Then I wrestled Benoit, who looks like me. And then I wrestled Shawn Michaels, who's actually a really athletic son of a gun. So those 3 matches, when I want to feel good about myself, I'll go back and watch those 3.
Hey, listen, he can't remember the Christian music band he's listening to right now, but he can tell you year, event, and opponent of 3 pay-per-views that are his favorite of all time. And Kurt, that's all that matters. Okay, buddy?
Oh my God. I can't believe I can't remember this group. I go to their concert every year.
Casting Crowns?
Casting Crowns. Oh my God. What's wrong with me?
Buddy,
Crowns. Love their music. They are awesome, man. Yeah.
I thought I heard you try to say the word crow or something. And so
I was thinking Counting Crows.
I know. Okay.
I don't want to say that.
I'm like, no, it's got to be some. Oh, Casting Crowns. There you go. Okay.
Yeah,
people are learning a lot about you on this Ask Kurt Anything, and this is why we do it.
Yeah, this is getting too personal.
No, this is what people want. They want to learn more about you, dude. So this is all good.
Merry Ballsmas from our friends over at Manscaped. The holidays are approaching, but what if I told it's true? It's damn true.
James Chad Simpson says, hi, Kurt and Paul. Kurt, what was the preparation like for your match against the debuting John Cena at the Rosemont Horizon in 2002? He has a couple questions about this John Cena debut.
We didn't do much to prepare for it. We talked a little bit, went out there. The match was only about 9 minutes, so it wasn't a very long match, but it was a good match. It was a very solid match, especially for John's first match on TV. I thought it was really good.
He said, when did you find out he'd be making his TV debut against you? And did you get the feeling that he was already a superstar in the making?
I found out that day. It was like last second, and I think what happened was he came in. I think they invited him in for a tryout, and John showed up, and Vince loved his look. You look at the kid, he was, he looks like a freaking bodybuilder. He's a pretty damn good athlete. He's smart, intelligent, can cut a promo. So did I know he was going to be a big superstar? You don't know that after only one match.
Right.
But did he impress me? Yes, he did.
His final question was, as one of the true greats in the business, did you object at all to him not only having some mic time, but also some shine in that match? Thanks, guys.
Well, you know what? He was supposed to shine because I was the heel and he was the babyface. Now, usually when they have a match like that where someone's not under contract against a WWE superstar, it's usually a crush match. It's quick, it doesn't last long, and the person doesn't get a shine. But John, they were really looking at him. They wanted to see what he had. So they wanted me to get on him and put a really good match together. So that's what I did.
All right. McSeal is up next. He says, hey, Kurt and Paul, love the show. Thank you, man. We appreciate it. Says, I wanted to ask Kurt, what was it like shooting the commercial for WWF SmackDown 2 Know Your Role? Do you have any fond memories that you have? It's probably my favorite commercial for a wrestling game ever. All the best.
Yeah, you know what? It was a funny commercial. I was my typical Kurt Angle Olympic hero character where I was oblivious to other people and I was running into him and knocking him over and, taking the newlyweds hotel room, the penthouse suite away from them. It was a really funny video. I really loved that. And I even knocked like a guy over that was supposed to take my bags. I threw the bags into him and hit him in the gut, knocked him over. It was a lot of fun. I thought they did an incredible job with that commercial. The whole setup, the verbiage, the actions I took. There isn't a better commercial. There's no way that nobody could do a better commercial than that. Seriously.
Did the kid from Clarion ever envision himself doing shit like that one day?
Hell no, man. Listen, I was a business major, and my senior year, they told me I had to take presentation classes. I was like, fuck that. I'm changing majors. Because I hated being in front of people.
Right.
Yeah.
And now here you are starring in commercials, acting amok and all crazy.
And I have my own podcast.
You never know, man. You never know with life. You're just willing to take steps and watch it evolve, and it's cool. Alexander Parada says, Kurt, what was it like working with Dave Bautista in 2005? I wish you and Dave would have had a tremendous rivalry.
Well, Dave and I only worked, I believe, once. And what happened was Dave got injured. He tore his tricep right off his elbow. And we were supposed to have a program at that particular time. He was champion. That's when I took over as champion for Dave. We had that battle royal, and I won, and I became champion. So, but it was supposed to be Dave and I. We were supposed to do a program together, and it just didn't happen because he got injured, and he was out for he was out till I quit. So that was in 2005. He was out of the company, nursing his injury until I left in 2006.
Yeah, and then when you left, he's like, "Okay, I'll come back now." What's crazy, I cheer and act like an idiot over that because, man, again, one of my favorite memories, I was in that crowd when you won that battle royal and won the title.
Oh, yeah. That was really cool, man. The way they set it up.
Yeah.
And, me and Mark Henry at the end.
Yes.
It was brilliant. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. You talk about life and how you didn't want to do a presentation class, but now here you are doing a podcast. Here I was, worried about how much cheese I was going to squeeze onto my pretzel that night at the event. Watching you win the title and think all these years later, me and you are doing a podcast with me. Life's crazy, man. Keen is up next. Which match was better in your opinion? Your one versus HBK at WrestleMania 21 or your match versus Undertaker at No Way Out in 2006?
Oh, God, man. They had to throw that at me. You know what? I will tell you this. Because it's WrestleMania, I'd say HBK. But then again, to have the match I did with Undertaker, knowing his size and him being much bigger than me, that's more impressive than having a 5-star match with HBK, which Dave Meltzer did not give us, by the way. Yeah. But I thought it was a 5-star match. But no, I think that I'm much happier with my match against Undertaker, and not to take anything away from Undertaker. He's an incredible worker, but knowing his size and what we were able to do in that match, it was beyond incredible. And I have to say Undertaker, No Way Out.
Okay. Wow.
But you know what? That's like the least popular pay-per-view of the whole entire year. Yeah. It kind of sucked because we wanted to do that at WrestleMania, but Vince didn't want that to happen because he didn't want me to beat Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania.
Sure. Well, and it made sense. And, he decided to go with the real wrestling stud, Brock Lesnar, to do that one day.
You're such an asshole.
I just try to make you laugh. I love it. Fernando Diaz is up next. He said, how would the catering be in WWE during the Thanksgiving time period?
Oh, God. It's just like any other family or household. I don't know.
I mean, would you go to an event around Thanksgiving? Would they do the whole spread? Would it be
yeah. They did it. Yeah, they would do the whole typical spread. Yeah. Actually, what they would do is when we were done with eating it at lunch, they would use it for the TV show and put it all out on the table all the leftovers, and that's what we were smashing and annihilating. Every Thanksgiving there's always a fight. Thanksgiving table, so
right.
They always have food fight at the end of the night.
I remember those glorious days where sometimes the ladies would end up in the gravy bowl. You never knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, you're right about that. The gravy bowl. That was the good old gravy bowl. The woman in the gravy bowl.
Oh, man.
In the gravy, just like,
Yep. Just drizzling down. Yep. All over those turkey breasts. Nick Lenz is up next. He says, how did you meet your current wife, Giovanna? How did you two meet?
Okay, we met her on a movie set. It was an independent movie, little shit movie, right? I shouldn't say that, but
no, you should. It's funny.
It was.
Yeah.
What happened was the assistant director was good friends with Giovanna and her family. And he said, listen, I need you to come into this movie, because Giovanna was doing big movies. She was doing movies where she was a double for Rosario Dawson and Penelope Cruz.
Get out of here.
She would double for them all the time. So he wanted her to come to this movie because he wanted to get her in it. And so she came, and we met each other, and we were both like, whoa, we were both attracted to each other.
Huh.
But we didn't do anything. Like we didn't get each other's numbers or anything. But what's crazy is a year later, I did another movie, Warrior, and she was in that movie too. So we got each other's numbers there. And then she went back to California because she lived in California, and she was back there for a year. We never even called each other. Out of the blue, she calls me out of the blue and says, hey, what's up? And I said, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I said, why don't you come back to Pittsburgh? I'll take you out on a date. And she said, well, I'm busy doing this movie, but I guess I can get away for a little bit. So she comes back, and she never went back to California. That was
wow. What kind of date was this?
In Pittsburgh. We ended up getting engaged 3 months later. She got pregnant a week after we got engaged.
I'm not surprised.
Everything went so fast.
So you bring her to Pittsburgh for this date. You say, come out to Pittsburgh. I'll take you on a date, because I ain't coming to California. No, you're coming here. I'm an Olympic hero. So she comes out to Pittsburgh. Do you remember what that first date was?
Yeah, we went to Applebee's.
Don't spend too much on the first date, Kurt. Well, what did you want? I mean, come on.
Hey,
where they have half price appetizers?
That's our place. That's our place.
That's your spot.
3 months later, I proposed to her at Applebee's.
Oh my God. What are you doing?
we had such a romantic time at Applebee's.
Oh, it sounds like it. Just through that rib juice and the wing sauce.
Well, I didn't tell you we did it in the bathroom.
Oh my God, I'm not surprised. The dirty, crusty bathroom. So men's or women's bathroom?
Oh, women's, of course.
Oh my, what, you just go right in the stall? I mean, hey.
All right, I'm just kidding, Paul.
No, you're full of shit. Nice try. You're trying to backpedal. Kurt, you're an animal. I can't believe that. So Applebee's is the spot for Kurt and Giovanna.
That's our place. That's our number one place.
All right, that's
she
good.
gives me shit about it all the time.
Well, she should.
I mean, Applebee's to propose to me.
You took her for first date. You took her there to propose. I mean, what are you going to take her back there for, like, your major anniversaries? Let's head to Applebee's.
20-year, yes.
It's 20-year Applebee's. We're going to have a party there.
It's always going to be our place. We're
feeling good in the neighborhood.
We're romantically involved with Applebee's.
It sounds like it. Some of your DNA is still in their bathroom. Brad Stanton is up next. NWA has been in the news because of the cocaine spot. Did you hear about that, Kurt?
Yeah.
Their pay-per-view, James Mitchell, they shoot over to him. They're like, let's go to James Mitchell. He's over at a side table. Listen, we had Billy Corgan on. We had EC3 on, loving that show, promoting Sal Win. On that show, they do a spot where they cut over to a side table with James Mitchell and his cast of characters. They're literally chopping up powder on the table and snorting lines of coke on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, you know what's crazy is, parents don't have to worry about their kids when they're watching wrestling. Okay, other TV shows and movies, if it's rated R, you have to monitor your kid and make sure they're not going to watch things that you don't want them to see. Well, the parents have trusted wrestling all these years.
Most definitely with WWE. Yeah.
Now you're giving them a reason to monitor it.
Right.
You know, when someone's sniffing coke during a show that kids watch,
right.
It makes absolutely no sense at all.
He says, Brad says, how far is too far, especially since wrestling is scripted? Why should it matter? I'm sure some networks shows have cocaine in their scripts. And that's to your point. But I think your point, Kurt, is wrestling is typically promoted now as family friendly.
Yes, very family friendly. Kids, listen, adults and kids watch, but so many kids are fans of wrestling. They grow up in this shit. I mean, everybody I meet when at autograph signings say, "Oh, I grew up watching you. When I was a kid, I watched you all the time." That's when they start. And now you have to give the parents a reason to monitor what they watch now when they're watching wrestling.
Yeah, and say, "Hey, Junior, that's not acceptable behavior, pal, by the way." You know what I mean? It just it creates you to have that conversation, you know, regardless. But I know they're trying to be different, trying to be an alternative, but they were trying to work on a TV contract at the same time. And now there's rumor that might not all come to fruition. So who knows?
I'm surprised Billy let that happen. I really am, because I love Billy. I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah,
I'm
great on the show.
That he allowed that thing.
Make that decision. Well, he made the decision. So it's just crazy. Adam Krasnoff's up next. Who do you think should light the Olympic torch when it comes to Los Angeles in 2028?
Oh, man. If he were alive, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
But, I would say Michael Phelps, because he's the most decorated Olympian of all time. I think that would be the best person to do it. I have a lot of respect for Michael. Katie Ledecky would be another great idea. She's going to break Michael Phelps's record. And the reason why I know this is because my daughter's a swimmer and she loves Katie Ledecky. So I would go with the swimmers. And you know what? When you swim, no matter if you're doing freestyle or breaststroke or what's this one called, butterfly? Yeah. You're in the water swimming, and it's just crazy how all these different events, one swimmer can win like 15 different events. And it's just like, you know, it's all in the water. It's all basically the same thing, but they're just different strokes, you know, and
different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. But you know, I have to say that, you know, Michael Phelps has done a tremendous job at winning all these gold medals, and so has Katie Ledecky. So I would go with whoever has the most medals at that time.
It'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, let's push for Kurt Angle in 2028. By then, you will have had all the surgeries in the world, and you'll be sprinting up to that, you know, to the torch.
I'll have the world record.
You'll be the bionic man all the way up there, dude. I love it. Adam also wants to know, was it Vince McMahon's idea to put you in the bright red pinstripe tights, and were you glad to stop wearing them?
What?
Bright red pinstripe tights. Do you remember? Yeah, was it his idea?
No, I came up with that idea.
Okay.
I love that singlet. That's my favorite singlet. I can't believe you don't like it. I look like a fucking candy cane. I love that singlet.
Adam wants to know if you were glad to stop wearing them. He was pissed to stop wearing them, Adam. If he could wear them around the house right now, he would.
That was my favorite singlet of all time. Do you remember that singlet, Paul?
I've drawn a blank.
It's pink and white, pinstripes. It's actually really cool singlet. It is a little feminine, but you know, I'm so masculine it doesn't matter.
Hey guys, look, I even typed singlet into Google, right? Not singlet. I've really gotten better with that. I've come a long way. Put myself over there for a second. But no, this is all Kurt's idea, Adam. Sorry. And he wanted to keep wearing them, and he's pissed. And if he had it on, he'd wear it right now on the Kurt Angle show.
I damn sure would.
Oh, all right. Two count. Kyle's up next. He said, Kurt, did you see or hear about any of the Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland Texas death match in AEW? I can fill in the blanks if you didn't. If so, what did you think of the violence in that match? You've had some bloody battles in your time. Are you a fan of the brutality or not so much?
You know what? I don't mind that happening every so often, every blue moon. But when you start doing that week after week, the fans expect that out of you. And then you're going to have to produce it every week. And that's going to take wrestling back. They're going to take a big step back if they do that. because wrestling is about telling a story. It's not about beating the shit out of each other with weapons. And don't get me wrong, there's a place for that.
Yeah.
You just have to be very careful about how many times you do it. Because once you do it, let's say you do it 3 weeks in a row, fans are addicted. That's all we want. And then they're going to want you to top what you did the week before.
Yeah.
They're going to want you to jump off a 25-foot cliff and land on your head. Okay. The fans are going to expect more.
Where do you draw
the
line?
More. Yeah. So why give that to them? You might as well, do that every once in a while, every blue moon, and continue to wrestle. Continue to tell a story in a wrestling match. That's the most important thing.
Have you ever been stapled?
No, I can't.
With a stapler, like stapled into the skin.
I know what you mean. No, I'm not a fan of that.
They were doing that. They literally took a sheet of paper, Hangman, and stapled it into Swerve Strickland's arm. Okay.
You know what? Honestly, Paul, they're dumbasses.
What are we doing?
Either that or they're just crazy.
Crazy sons of bitches, but they're doing it.
You know what? They're both talented wrestlers.
Oh,
they don't have to do that stuff.
They're fantastic. Swerve Strickland's on a trajectory unlike any other right now. But yeah, man, it got off the hook. There's a lot of controversy on social because of how far they won. It was something else. Drew Landry's up next. Is the greatest what if feud a possible one with Bret Hart during his 1997 run? Knowing what you know now, do you wish? Okay, so we'll start there. He has a few questions. Is that the greatest what if feud, you and Bret, 97?
Yeah. You know what? I think the span is what they're saying is if I would have signed in 1996, I possibly would have wrestled Bret in 1997. And he's right. And I do regret not signing with the WWE. Because if I would have had that opportunity and I would have known now what I know back, or if I'd have known back then what I know now, I would have jumped on that in a second. But I didn't know. And I didn't even know who Bret Hart was back in 1996. But once I started watching in 1998 and I became a student of the game, I'm watching all these matches from all these generations and decades. And the one that stood out the most was Bret Hart. I said, that's the guy I want to wrestle. And I remember him getting knocked out by Goldberg and knowing, okay, this guy might not ever make it back again. And he didn't, unfortunately. And I think he had a stroke immediately after that.
Yeah, not too long after.
It was a double whammy, and Bret was done. And it's a shame. I tried to wrestle him at WrestleMania in 2002 or 3, and he wouldn't do it. And I understand why. If I were Bret, put it this way. If Bret Hart was in his prime and he came to me right now and said, Kurt, I would love to wrestle with you, I'd be like, are you out of your mind? I'm over the hill. My body's all banged up. I can't give you a Kurt Angle match that you're expecting. And that's what Bret was trying to tell me.
Sure.
You know, here I am in my prime, and I'm like, Bret, why don't you come wrestle me? We have an opportunity to 2 best of all time. Let's do this. He's like, I can't. I'm sorry.
And now you understand.
I get it now.
Yeah. He says, and we only have a few more questions and then we'll wrap up, Kurt. Knowing what you know now, do you wish your first meeting with Vince in 1996 went differently?
Yes, I do. I wish I would have told him I cannot lose.
Yeah, you wish you would never said that.
Mr. McMahon, I cannot lose a wrestling match. I'm an Olympic gold medalist. I have to stay undefeated my whole career. Could you imagine?
Oh my God!
That meeting, like what?
Vince, and knowing how Vince is. Come on. He said,
you know what? I didn't even know what pro wrestling was. I didn't know.
Yeah, I know.
I knew it wasn't real.
Yeah.
You know, as far as the winner, right? But I didn't know, like, you know, I didn't even know about psychology.
The psychology of strengthening your character, and you take some losses to build to the wins and all that. Yeah. He said, I imagine when Raw was in Pittsburgh in 1997 and Bret says, Pittsburgh is the best place to put an enema in America. You could come out and begin the feud right then and there. What do you think? You like that idea? That would have been fun.
That would have been awesome. That would have been my first fight in Pittsburgh, and have been against Bret Hart. Yeah, baby. You know what? Yeah. Actually, the match probably wouldn't have been as good as I wanted it to because I had no experience.
Yeah, green. We got 3 more questions, Kurt, and we'll wrap up. Bryant Haremza, Kurt, it's my favorite time of the year. It's wrestling season. What is something you learned as an amateur wrestler that you might not have known about yourself before you started wrestling?
Honestly, that I could be a champion. Listen, when I started amateur wrestling, I sucked. I was horrible. and I lost a lot and I cried a lot. I was a fucking crybaby. Okay. My brothers were like, shut the fuck up. Okay. I literally, when I would get beat, I pretend I got injured. Oh, I hurt my arm. That's why I lost. My brothers are like, shut the fuck up. You lost because you're not good. You know, like, so they were being honest with me. And the light bulb didn't go off in my head for a good bit of time. It didn't go off in my head till my dad died in high school.
That's what flipped the switch.
That's what flipped the switch. And that's when I came on strong and I started setting goals for myself. And by my senior year, I won a state championship in wrestling, something my brothers never did.
Did someone talk to you about goal setting, Kurt, or you just knew it's something I need to do?
Oh, no. I had coaches that talked about goal setting. But I never actually did it until
applied it. Yeah.
You know, until my father, and I said, I'm going to do this for you, Dad. And I started setting goals. And I was getting better and better, and I ended up winning a state championship. Got me a bunch of scholarship offers to colleges, and then I ended up going to college, and I had a stellar career there.
Your dad's death was the ultimate motivator in your life,
without a doubt. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. He, the reason why, Paul, because he never missed any of our sporting events, and he never put pressure on us. It didn't matter if we did good or bad, as long as we gave our best. And He never missed any of our sporting events. Even if he had to leave work early, he would cut out of work just to show up. I loved him for that. He was at every event. And that's why my family stuck by me throughout my whole entire career. And they went to every event from high school to college to the Olympics, even overseas. I was raising money so they could go overseas to watch me wrestle. It was like we were a family, we were one unit.
Kurt, you know how proud he would be of you right now to see how your life has evolved and how you now do that for your own kids?
You know what? I hope so. I always try to make my dad proud, and don't get me teary-eyed right now, Paul.
Okay. All right. We got 2 questions, but I'm telling you, he would. I see you post nothing but being at swim meets now, and I know you like to post that one picture of you on the wall at the high school, but you I got to make it funny, but you're there.
I had to make it about me that day, didn't I?
I know you did. I love it. A wrestling historian, you mentioned you turned down the WWF's initial contract of $500,000 a year and had to settle for training
10 years,
for a training one when you decided to join. How long did it take you to get paid like that? Was it first contract? Thanks in advance. How long did it take you to make money like that?
They offered me $500,000 for 10 years. I turned it down. So when I tried out for them a couple years later, they said, hey, we're going to give you a contract that's not going to be very good. We're going to give you a $75,000 contract to start out. And I said, okay, how do I make more money than that? And they said, well, if you climb the ranks and you end up in the main event, you'll get more. So my first year, I made $500,000 probably my first 4 months in the business.
Oh my
Because
God.
I literally, after the first month, I got catapulted into the main event.
Yeah, you were
I
up
was
there
main eventing all the time. So I made like $1.4 million my first year wrestling.
What was your biggest year?
I was only guaranteed $75,000.
What was your biggest year in the business?
My biggest year was $3.2 million. That would have been my third year.
Okay.
With Stone Cold Steve Austin, beginning of him.
I got you.
When I beat him for the world title.
The nice thing about TNA is you signed a guaranteed $1 million a year. You knew every year I'm making $1 million.
Yeah, and it was a reduced schedule. I didn't have to work as much. It was a really good gig. It was a really good deal. Yeah.
Did you get merch on top of that?
Yes. Now I would say I made maybe another $200,000 to $300,000. It wasn't like a super amount of money, but it was good. Yeah. It was good for TNA. It was really good.
Did you always still live in Pittsburgh when you worked for TNA and just fly down there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you still paid them PA taxes.
I'm an idiot, man. You know what? Here I am. I tried to move to Florida right during the pandemic after I retired from wrestling.
Wow. Like after you gave all that money away.
Oh, my God. I was giving away a state tax in Florida. There's no state tax.
That's right.
Here I was giving away between $100,000 and $150,000 a year to state tax. Yeah. So
let's start calculating that each and every year you wrestled pro, and then think about all that money.
Times it by 10, you're talking over $1.34 million. Yeah.
Oh, the things we would have changed in life. Oh, good stuff.
I know.
Final question, Keegan, our buddy. He is kicking ass and taking names and training hard, Kurt. He said, Kurt and Paul, what is something pro wrestlers today need to consistently work on to elevate themselves to the next level? Bumping and selling are something to always work at, but are there any other factors in your opinion that one could work on to really separate themselves?
Yeah, working on your character and your promo skills. I mean, bumping and selling is the two most important things when you're in the ring. But you need to work on a good character.
Yeah.
You also have to work on your promo skills. Make sure you're good at doing promos. You have to feel it. You have to be able to feel the moment when you're doing it. You don't want it to sound fake. It has to be real. So I think working on your character and your promo skills is just as important as in-ring wrestling.
Kurt, that wraps up our questions for Ask Kurt Anything. But before we get into promoting some other things, Keegan posted on Twitter, and he's at KEEGANRW. If you want to follow him on social, they've opened up a donation slot for those that like to support the wrestling show. It's all about mental health awareness, and you can follow it on social media at Sick Not Weak. All one word, at Sick Not Weak. And he is co-promoting it with at Mr. Marvel Tweets, an event. It's Fight for the Sick Not Weak. It's all around mental health awareness. Every donation matters and goes a long way to helping their cause. You can check out the site, guys. Go to CanadaHelps.org. That's CanadaHelps, all one word, .org, and check it out and see what they're doing with their wrestling show to really help mental health awareness. And man, Keegan, we want to support you in that effort as much as we can here at the Kurt Angle Show. So just wanted to share that on his behalf. We really are proud to see what he's accomplishing, aren't we, Kurt?
Yeah, he's a good kid. I've kept in touch with him on Twitter, and I absolutely adore the kid.
Yeah. Well, hey, real quick, before we get out of here, just remember, you got to check out all of Kurt's past top Impact moments and moments in TNA. That's right, TNA making that comeback in January. You can go to impactwrestling.com/packages and sign up with the code Kurt. And that'll help us out and the show out. And you can watch Kurt make $1 million per year all those years, plus $200,000 to $300,000 a year in merchandise while he kicked ass every single one of those years in those matches. So check it out, impactwrestling.com/packages, and sign up with code Kurt. Also, we want to tell you how you can advertise with us right here on the show. And if you're in that demographic, which Kurt still is for one or two more weeks, that 25 to 54-year-old men, there's no better place to advertise than right here than on the Kurt Angle Show. Go to advertisewithangle.com right now and find out how you can be a part of our show, and we will advertise for you, your product, your service right here on the show. That's advertisewithangle.com. And then, Kurt, before we get over to your chicken snacks, I got to tell them, we really appreciate all the subscribers. We broke 67,000 on YouTube, and we're continuing to climb. Go to youtube.com/The Angle Pod. Like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, guys. It helps us so much. YouTube, as you've heard, I'm sure from other shows, has that powerful algorithm that if you like and subscribe and really like and subscribe, it's going to help our show get spread more around YouTube. And that really helps us and really supports us. So it's youtube.com/The Angle Pod. Kurt, it's time for you to sell some physically fit smart snacks. Can you tell them all about it?
Physically Fit Smart Snacks. We got 11 different flavors. They're all incredible. High protein, low carbohydrate. Go to physicallyfit.com to order yours. You're going to absolutely love them. I eat them every day. They're part of my diet, and they keep me in great shape. And I'm looking better than I've actually looked in probably 20 years. So the snack smarts are really good, really good.
Kurt, you've looked better than you have in 20 years. Have you noticed an improvement as well in your sex life as a result?
Well, with all my injuries and surgeries, not so much.
Okay. Well, there we go. So send out those thoughts and prayers to Kurt on that. Let's talk a little bit about Project One Nutrition, cookies and cream, Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's American Dream Cookies and Cream Protein. High protein, low carbohydrate. It's the best tasting protein in the world. I love it, man. The cookies and cream. It's incredible. It's like cookies and milk, and that's what I love. And that's why I'm selling this protein. Go to project1nutrition.com to order yours.
Hey, listen, and Kurt was telling us last week about the countries that they're going to be going into in 2024. He then read off a few country names. He mentioned 40 countries coming up soon. I was nervous he was going to start reading all 40 country names. He didn't do that. But the point of the story is it's going to be everywhere in 2024. So get in now and be part of the revolution in sports nutrition with Project One. Cookies and cream, damn it. And then finally, KurtAngleBrand.com, where you can find all the Kurt Angle merchandise your little heart could ever want or desire. We're talking cowboy hats, milk cartons, t-shirts, birthday cards, cameo videos. Kurt, what can they find?
The whole ball of wax. That's right, Paul. The whole ball of wax. I love saying it. The whole ball of wax.
He does. KurtAngleBrand.com. And check it out. He has a nice little face and image of himself right there on the homepage. In case you forget who Kurt Angle is, you will see him in a singlet right there on the front of the website. But come on, take advantage of it. The cameo videos are fun. He does a great job with them. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. I'm not sure if you've heard him say that phrase, but you can check it out right there on KurtAngleBrand.com.
Right,
Kurt, it's time to talk about my bookie, buddy. Give it to him.
All right, my bookie. Let's talk about it. With Thanksgiving comes a special day of football leading into a great weekend of games. Shout out to my partners at mybookie.com for their great odds making and promos. Outside of the Thanksgiving games, got a great week of matchups for fans around the country, so keep an eye on those odds. Use promo code KurtAngle for your cash bonus with bets on MyBookie. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone and your families, and enjoy the weekend.
Wow. Well said, Kurt. You do such a great job, and take advantage of it. MyBookie, promo code Kurt Angle. And listen, on behalf of Kurt and myself, we really do hope that you had a great Thanksgiving. I know we're coming in after the holiday, but man, now we're headed into the home stretch towards the end of the new year and Christmas and Hanukkah and all that good stuff, Kurt.
Yes, we are. Christmas is coming up right after Thanksgiving, believe it or not. It's in 1 month.
It's the perfect time to buy all that favorite Kurt Angle show merchandise. So check it out.
A lot of Christmas gifts on the Kurt Angle merchandise website.
We're such shilling assholes. It's out of control. Kurt, thank you so much for doing the show with me. We're going to wrap up the year. If you didn't get a question in this time, think of one. Think of a good, juicy one. And we're going to have one more opportunity before the year closes to do it as we wrap up the year with another Ask Kurt Anything. But we're going to have another fun show next week, revisiting some of Kurt's career highlighted memories. But right now it's time to say goodbye on behalf of your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle. This is Paul Bromwell, and you've been listening to The Kurt Angle Show. We'll see you next week.